Hey everyone, this is Craig. Nice to see you. And I wanted to let you know this is a past recording of a sponsor spotlight with our friends over at 360 Privacy. So any dates that you hear that are within this video, please disregard. This is absolutely for EP Mixer New Orleans happening October 1st, 2025. And with that, I give you our good friend Trinity Davis from 360 Privacy. It's so nice to see everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically. We are back with another sponsor spotlight for the EP Mixer happening during GSX down in Dallas in September with one of our fine sponsors. I have Trinity Davis from 360 Privacy, who is the Strategic Vice President of Strategic Engagement. And that could be you said $12. I say that's a $15 title right there. Trinity, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks for having me, Craig. I appreciate it, brother.
Of course. So I know that I've read, and I think we've talked before. You've used and I might screw this up, but cyber executive protection or something like that. So please tell us what your business is. Tell us all about
Sure. So it's digital executive protection, and I actually came from the operational space, right? So I've spent the last 18 years in protective operations, but I quickly began to see over the course of the past 8 to 10 years that a lot of the physical risks that I was trying to mitigate for were beginning in the digital space. The unfortunate reality that we're facing, Craig, is that every knucklehead, every bad actor has the computing power of NASA in the palm of their hands. When they put a man on the moon. So the ability for someone to do a simple Google search and find out time and place predictability, develop pattern of life, identify phone numbers, email addresses, physical addresses, etc., is super, super easy. And that's really what we're focused at attacking is the source issue, which is data brokers, because we're freely giving up our personally identifiable information under the guise of convenience here in the United States.
It's it probably way more of a problem than any of us. I mean, maybe not so much in the security space or protection space where maybe we get it, but maybe not the scope, but certainly those that you're protecting with that, they just, and if you wouldn't mind, talk about that for a second. Like when you go in and you have an initial consultation or somebody calls you in, hey, we think we might have an issue, like how much like the average client for you, how much don't they know?
I think that by and large, folks don't, clearly understand the consequences of entering into transactional relationships that we have, and this affects, normal folks like you and I, all the way up to the ultra high net worth space. We're talking Forbes 5, clientele.
Mm-hmm.
So every time that we purchase a phone, purchase a house, a car, sign up for an app, we're standing at the register at Target, for instance, and we give our phone number or our email address in the pursuit of, getting a discount at the register or getting on some sort of shopper rewards program, right? We are giving that organization the right to package and sell our data freely as they choose. The unfortunate reality is here in the United States, we have very lax data privacy laws, and data sales has become a secondary revenue stream for almost every facet of industry, right? So when we initially come in, we usually come in with a partner in the physical space. Just like your firm or a firm that I've been a part of in the past will come in and do a physical security assessment and look at SOPs, manning, the operational footprint around the client, et cetera. We're looking at those same things, but from a digital perspective. So let's just say, for instance, I'm coming out to a residence, right? When I come into a residence, I'm looking at the home private network, and I'm ensuring that number one, that the SSID is not attributable to the family. So it doesn't say Davis family Wi-Fi, right? That it can't be sniffed from the street. We're ensuring that there's no security patches or updates that need to be pushed through. We're looking at smart home devices like a refrigerator, washer and dryer, those sorts of things that typically live in an ultra high net worth, home. The factory settings are typically default to open. So those are pathways of exploitation for a bad actor into a home private network. And some of the more prevalent things that we also try to make them understand or try to fix is, again, we're going red team to blue team, like identifying where their weaknesses are and then plugging those gaps. And a lot of that is through really education as well, right? So a lot of the assets and the advisors that are typically focused at, the principal or the executive of company XYZ, right? They have the smartest people telling them what to do in order to keep themselves safe. They have a lot of resources, platforms, programs, et cetera, in place as well, and that concentric ring of security around the executive. But those same assets as advisors are typically not focused at the spouse, the children, the EA, the PA, the security teams. And because of our access to calendars, to itineraries, to email accounts, knowing where they're going on a daily basis, where they're going to be, where they what habits they have, etc. Through our carelessness in the digital space, we also potentially become that pathway of exploitation. And more often than not, the children, because of their interface with social media, etc., they're often the easier targets in order to gain access. So when in conjunction with doing that assessment, we're also going through and looking at the dark web, looking at the open web, understanding what their vulnerabilities are, like how much data actually exists. Because the unfortunate thing is that there's about 460 of these data brokers that are scraping data on a daily basis and then offering it for sale under the guise of, connect with your high school sweetheart or find a long lost friend, whatever thing that makes you feel good in order to get you to click on that button, pay for a $14 membership that'll allow me to gain access to your emails, your physical addresses, what LLCs or trusts that you're associated with. Not only those trusts and LLCs, but who the officers are, the EIN, the registry numbers, if it's an active trust or LLC. I can also gain access to your social security number very easily, actually. Here in the United States, it's illegal to post all 9 digits in one spot, but I can go to one site, and for $30, I can buy the first 5 digits and go to another site, and for $20, I can buy the last 4. So now I have every single piece of information that I need to either launch some sort of reputational attack, formulate a physical attack, or just commit fraud, if that makes sense.
It's the 2 words that were coming to me as you're talking about this is, it is wildly vast of where information goes, where people will go to get it.
Yep.
And if they can't find on their own a relatively small amount to be able to purchase it. So I have these two when I talk to people that really know stuff, because I know how to network, right? That's it. But when I start talking to somebody like you, I'm like, oh man, you start to get a little terrified of what's kind of out there. So understanding all that, or understanding what you're kind of dealing with. I mean, why is it, why do you choose to do this type of work, like specific to digital EP as opposed to the physical and stand and post? What draws you to that?
I have a lot of passion for the industry. In fact, I don't know that I can imagine myself doing anything else. I know that this as well as I do, and most of the folks that are going to be watching and clicking on this and listening. If you're in this industry for, let's say, past 4 to 5 years, you've been infected by the bug, right? This is a space that, while it has a tremendous amount of stress attached to it, it's not conducive to family life. We're often traveling on the go, working long hours, etc. So you have to have a passion for the space, right? As I said, 8 to 10 years ago, I was seeing a lot of the risks that I was trying to mitigate for in the physical space actually manifest in the digital space. So as I'm thinking through this process, I'm trying to identify firms that can help me solve some of the issues that I was having. And actually, the 6 years prior to me coming on board here as a partner at 360 Privacy were spent in Silicon Valley, where I held two very unique roles. One with a very ultra high net worth family, running the day-to-day operations on the executive protection and residential security side. The other with a very large and well-known fintech firm, where I was the director of protective services for the entire executive leadership team. So I actually brought this platform on to help solve for those issues. When the opportunity was presented for me to actually come over as a partner, I looked at it from the perspective of, hey, this is an opportunity for me to really help the industry grow, right? And this is kind of where I'm talking about the transition from the operational space to the digital space. Is, gates, guards, and guns, have been the focus of our industry for such a long time, right? And they still very much have a place in what we're trying to accomplish, right? But the last to adapt is the first to perish. And when you have clients that you're charged with the safety and security of not only them but their loved ones, being able to actually put to bear tools that make the operator, the protector that's physically in the space, to make their job easier, allow them to focus on the environment that's directly around them, right? And not have to worry about some of the other things, the ancillary, issues that we're often concerned about. If I can help the industry identify the need and really adapt and accept this is common tradecraft. This is part of every operational footprint from here moving forward into the future. Then I've done my job. I've taken a career field that I have a ton of passion for, and I've added to that legacy, to the capabilities of the men and women that are doing, to be honest, a thankless job, if you will.
I'm sure that plenty of people that could support that statement, for sure. So as you're going through and I'm listening to you talk, I mean, clearly there's a passion for it. You see an opportunity to shape, to really shape, I don't want to call it a new part, but a really maybe a recently recognized part of protecting ultra high net worth families, Fortune 5s, things like that. I hear it in your voice, and I think anybody listening to it, but is going to hear it. But what for you, and you may have already said it, but so we're clear on it. What's been the best part about it for you? Like, what's the best part about what you do?
I think the best part has really been engaging. So, I'm going to say this, and I know that you feel this, right? In this industry, outside of coming to conferences, ongoing education, etc., details are typically very siloed. You operate within your team environment. You're focused on day-to-day operations. Dialing in, your TTPs, etc., like focusing on operations. There's not a lot of time to benchmark or go out and network with other programs and truly understand what they're doing it, how they're doing it and why they're doing it. With this role, it has allowed me to kind of pull my head out of the sand and quit, being concerned about what's going on in my little bubble in the world, and really interact and engage with so many thought leaders, security professionals, protectors across the industry from all different facets, not just, private family offices, not just tech, but, programs from the corporate space, kind of diving more into the celebrity side of things, actors, actresses, entertainers, professional athletes, etc. It's given me the ability to really engage with colleagues from every facet of this crazy industry that we work in. And it's given me a lot of perspective and understanding of the challenges that folks face. And while the concept of protection is the same, the nuances, the way things are done in different environments, different settings, it's really really different. It's helped me really gain a whole new appreciation for the industry and some of the challenges that are faced.
Yeah. As you're saying that you're diving in, you mentioned the celebrity part, or the actors, actresses. You think about the different names that we know within the industry, that like that's what they do, or at least that's what they're known for. And so when you, like you said, when you bring everybody together, such as an EP mixer, like you guys are so graciously sponsoring, it's you get all of that right then and there. And I think one of the most and not to plug the networking here, and just anybody who's watching this, you get a chance to meet Trinity and talk to him and bend his ear on what he knows about what he does. But networking is such an opportunity to learn, and especially it happens often because you say day to day bubble. Here's where I am. Here's where I work. I can't go there because I'm here.
Yep.
When you can plan it, you can go and do that. That's a great thing, and you get to expand your knowledge base. Like maybe you're a better digital executive protection specialist than you are physical. I am I am a better networking protection specialist than being out there in the field, or at least that's where my gift lies. So now I know you said you couldn't see yourself doing anything else, out there, but I'm interested. If if the industry didn't exist, right? Where might you find yourself? What else might you be doing?
Um, I've always really been interested in the medical side of what we do, and really understanding the great importance of having a team medic, especially as you're involved with a higher risk operation. I was very fortunate uh, uh, 2 roles ago where we had a medic embedded in our program that was with us every single place that we went. It was fantastic having that operational coverage, right? Less stress on myself and the other agents that were focused on, not because medical skills are very much lost if not practiced on a really regular basis. So I've always been very intrigued about bending the ear of team medics and understanding their experiences and kind of what's led them into that space. So honestly, I think if I wasn't doing this, I think I would probably pursue being maybe a trauma nurse or flight K or something of that nature. That's always very much intrigued me, and I think it would be a very rewarding career field, such as the career field that we share now.
And interesting that again you pick helping people and service to others.
Right.
That's I know from your background, probably a lifetime ago, of service, probably born there or even before, simply because of going the route that you went. So that's fantastic, and not at all surprising. So where can we go ahead and find more info on 360 privacy? Where? Websites, social media, where?
Sure. LinkedIn, obviously, if you look me up, I'm constantly publishing white papers or articles that I've either authored or co-authored that kind of dive into the need for a DEP program or a digital executive protection program. And in fact, yesterday, I published one that's actually a roadmap to building one. A very in-depth article, or you can go to 360privacy.io on the internet. You should be able to glean any information off of that site. Reach out to me directly. One thing that I'd like to add is I've gotten to where I'm at through the grace of others in life. And what I mean by that is I've always been at the right place at the right time in order to get an opportunity. I think it's what I've done with those opportunities that certainly propelled my career in the direction that it's gone. But I have a great passion for giving back. So if folks want to reach out, I also love to do coaching, mentoring, help young professionals come up in the industry, and try to give them some insights or maybe some lessons that I've learned. So love that aspect of the career field as well. Give back, right?
100%. And for those of you who are new to the industry, or even those who've been in it, like you just heard it right from his mouth, like you should talk to him and you should pursue that introduction for yourself. If you're not good at that, let me know. I'm happy to help plug you in. Anyway, Trinity, I can't thank you enough for sponsoring. I appreciate the desire again to serve, to help others progress in the industry. The sponsorship for being for the EP mixers, your belief in them, and your time today. It was great and super. I know that I'm smarter and more scared, but that's also good. So, but hey man, I appreciate your time.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate what you're doing.
It's all my pleasure. I'll talk to you.